are triggered, one could argue, by what they heard at the event. And they punched the guy. What do you make of that?
You know, I think that it's very...
You can't control 5,000 or 10,000 people.
You can't control them, but it's very interesting that no one's covering the protesters at Hillary's rallies or at Kasich rallies or at Cruz rallies.
Slugged?
Absolutely. Have you seen the coverage? Black Lives Matter is everywhere. And I believe that this gentleman says he's a part of Black Lives Matter. These Black Lives Matter protesters are prepared for any kind of environment that they go into to make their point.
And then just point us to it. I'd love to find if somebody getting slugged, a sucker punch in the face.
I think that there was some very hostile moments at the AU Center in Atlanta.
Yeah.
When Hillary Clinton was there speaking, there was a large group of Black Lives Matter protesters who were jostled around, pushed around by security, who were handled.
Did any of the
and I don't think that was covered. But
Donald,
no, but you know what, Chris? Donald can't be responsible for every single person that comes to his rally. But we also have to cover the fact that this is not the only candidate that has protesters at their rally.
It's not about protesters, it's what's being done to protesters.
What do you mean what's being done to protesters? This is a country that you have the right to assemble, you have the right to free speech, you also have the right to go into...
slug a guy
you have a right to go into... Listen, you have a right to go into a closed private event and you get what's coming to you. I do not condone violence, but if you go into an environment where you're interrupting 13, 14 times, do you expect a hug or kumbaya? Come on, Chris.
What do you think is coming to these people?
Listen, these protesters know exactly what they're getting at this point. They've seen how protesters are not given a pass and allowed to take over these events. If you go to a Donald Trump rally, here's a news flash.
You judge this.
Let's go.
Well, the tapes are great. Let's go to the tapes.
We're not allowed to punch back anymore. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
What do you make of that?
He's a New Yorker. What do you want him to say?
Did you see the guy behind him on the left?
Do you think he's from Kansas or something?
Did you see the guy's reaction?
From New York.
Did you see the guy's reaction?
He's not going to be pushed around, Chris.
Do you think it's all right to incite that kind of behavior?
Not at all. He's not.
So explain where you are on this. I can't figure out where you are. You say you can't control the crowd.
You can't. It's impossible.
Okay, let me ask you this.
There's 30,000 people in that room.
You're close to the guy. Why doesn't he go?